How's going on everyone? Welcome back to another video in data structure series. In our last video we have learned what are linked list and what are the different types of linked list. In this video we will learn how we can implement singly linked list in C and C++. We can implement linked list in C using structures and in C++ using structures as well as classes. So first let's see how we can implement linked list in C using structures. So first we declare a node structure. This will be used to create the node of the linked list. As in singly linked list, each node has only two parts. The first part is the key part in which the data is stored, and the second part is the pointer part in which the address of the next node is stored. So here also we have created two members of this structure. First is the key member in which we are going to store the data. After this we have a pointer called next. This pointer is of struct node type, and in this we will store the address of the next node. Now if you are using structures in C++, you can directly write node instead of writing struct node. Once we have declared the node structure, we create another pointer called head. This pointer is of struct node type, and in this we will store the address of the head node of the linked list. But as for now we do not have any node in our linked list, so we are storing null. Then we have a createList function which will be used to create the linked list. But we will understand it later. Let's move to the next function for now. Next we have a printlist function. We will use this function to print the linked list. But first let's understand the main function. In the main function, we first ask a user to enter the number of elements that he wants to store in the linked list. We store that number in the variable n. After this, we ask the user to enter the elements that he wants to store in the linked list. To scan the elements entered by the user, we use a for loop which runs n times. And each time user enters an element, that element is stored in the variable x, and we pass that x in the createList function so that this element can be added to our linked list. Once we have created our linked list, we finally print out our linked list using the printlist function. Now let's understand the createList function. This createList function is used to create the new node and add it to the linked list. To create a new node, some memory has to be allocated to it, and for that we use the malloc function. In this malloc function, we pass the size of the struct node and it returns the address of the memory allocated to it. We store that address in the new node. New node is a pointer of struct node type. In C++, instead of using this big statement of malloc, you can directly write new node. Once we have allocated memory for the new node, we store the data in the key part of the new node and null in the address part of the new node, because for now we do not have any address that can be stored here. After this, we have declared another pointer of struct node type, and in this pointer we have stored the address of the head node. We will use this pointer to iterate over each node of the linked list. Now we have created a new node, it's time to add that new node in our linked list. So to add a new node, we first check that if head is equals to null. If head is equals to null, then it means that there is no head node in the linked list and the linked list is empty. So first we create the head node by storing the address of the new node in the head pointer. And after this we return, which means that the remaining code in this function will not be executed. Now instead of using return, we could have also used else clause after if. Now we have added first node in a linked list. When the user enters a second element, that element will again be passed in the createList function and a new node will be created for the second element. We will store the second element in the new node and then this new node has to be added to the linked list. So we again check that if head is equals to null, but this time it will return false as we have already created a head node. So we would move to the while loop. This while loop is used to traverse through the linked list and reach the tail node. After reaching the tail node, we add the new node in the linked list. Now let's understand how we are traversing through the linked list. Let's say we have a linked list with two nodes only. We would use the pointer current node to traverse through the linked list. So first we have stored the address of the head node in the current node. So as here the address of the head node is 1000, so we have stored 1000 in the current node. Now using current node we can access the members of the head node. But now we want to access the members of the second node. So we have to move to the second node. To move to the second node, we assign the address stored in the pointer of the current node back to the current node. So here in the next part of the current node 2000 is stored. So we assign 2000 back to the current node. So now current node is equals to 2000, which means that we have moved to the second node, and now we can access the members of the second node using the current node pointer. Similarly, we will traverse through the whole linked list. This while loop runs until the address of the next node stored in the current node is not equals to null. When we reach the tail node, the address stored in the next member of the tail node is equals to null. So the loop will terminate there and we will have the address of the tail node stored in the current node. Finally, we have the address of the last node. So to add the new node at last of the linked list, we store the address of the new node in the pointer part of the current node. In this way, the former last node now points at the new node and new node has become the last node of the linked list. Now we can do this for as many nodes as we want. Now let us understand the printlist function. This printlist function will be used to print out the linked list. In this printlist function also, we create a pointer called current node. Again, this pointer will be used to iterate over each node of the linked list. In this pointer, we have stored the address of the head node of the linked list. To traverse through the linked list, we use a while loop which runs until current node is equals to null, which means that this loop will terminate when we have reached the tail node and again assigned the address stored in the tail node back to the current node. So at that time, null is stored in the tail node. So null will be assigned back to the current node and this condition would be checked, and as this condition would be found false, so this loop will terminate. So when we are iterating over each node of the linked list, we print out the data stored in that linked list, and after that we move to the next node by assigning the address of the next node back to the current node. So this will print the data stored in the linked list. This was the print list function. Now let's run this program to verify it. Let's enter 6 elements in the linked list. It prints out the elements which we have entered in the linked list. So this was a program of singly linked list in C. Now let's see how we can implement singly linked list in C++ using classes. This program is not much different than the program which we have just discussed. So we will only discuss the differences of the both program. Now in this we have used classes instead of structures. So we declare a node class, and in this node class we declare two public variables. First is the key variable in which the data is stored, and after this we have a pointer next of node type in which the address of the next node is stored. Then we declare the head pointer in which we will store the address of the head node. After this we have the createList function. In this createList function, first we allocate some memory for the new node. Now here we are not using the malloc function to allocate memory for the new node. We are creating the new node. Rest of the function is same as the function which we have just discussed. The printlist function is also same as the printlist function which we have just discussed. Their only key difference is in the syntax, and then we have the main function. This main function is also same as the previous main function. We can run this program also. Let's store 10 elements this time. Here it gives us the elements which we have stored in the linked list. So that's all for this video. You can find the source code to these programs on a GitHub profile. Link is given in the description box. In our next video, we will discuss how we can implement doubly linked list in C using structures and in C++ using classes. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video and found it helpful, give it a thumbs up and do subscribe our channel for similar content. If you have any doubts or suggestions for us, feel free to share with us in the comment section. You can also contact us through our Instagram and Twitter handles. Link is given in the description box.